Hello, people. I could use some late night Bengal spice. Okay. So I think we're going to start where we left off here with button kind of stuff. Actually, this core draw label using prepared text. Did I do that? Did I do that? Okay, let's go to the place. Let's make sure this compiles. This is where we left off. So I'm thinking with the button here, we want to make sure I think maybe we want to do 3 buttons. Again, left, middle, and right justified. To make sure that works and propagates all the way through. And then we can figure out what to do about vertical placement. Like, what is the best way to specify the vertical placement? Because we have, right? I mean, we have text baseline vertical position, but the problem is this is sort of meant for things that are about the size of, like for small rectangles, I guess. I mean, maybe it's fine, actually. Maybe we just use that. We'll see. Is Casey a big simp? I don't know that that is a way that I've ever thought of him. Is tonight the night we find out about Harvey Dent? It might be. You have to stay tuned to know whether we discover anything about Harvey Dent and whether he could be trusted. So while the tea warms up, let's get rid of these. All right, so we've got our Hello Sailor button. Okay, so we could do this button like three times, right? Oh. No, no. There. There. Okay, that's, I admit. Oh, whoops, I did. See, that's the, I did the width instead of the y coordinate. There we go. So let's do, we have 2 times k. Oh, because these are the lower left corner of the buttons. So let's just give it a little pad. Okay. So we could go as left, center, and right. Okay, that didn't do anything, so we have to propagate that value. Make sure I don't still have an alignment on button theme. We do not appear to. Okay, so all right. So actually, this doesn't have a separate font anymore, right? So this thing is a no-op because it's assigning it to itself. All right. So, these buttons are not really wide enough to show off the situation. So let's make them a little wider. I mean, the buttons simply aren't big enough, you know. Okay. These are large buttons. Okay. So we're not really using the see, okay. So the problem is the following. Oh, that is relative to rect height. So it might be fine. I thought this was going to be in M's, but it totally isn't. Okay. What's going on tonight, people? How are things? What is going on with me? Well, I am programming. And I was doing other stuff. And then I said, let's do a couple hours or however long I feel awake enough to do before bed. You think my volume level is lower than normal? I don't think it is. I mean, who knows? Like maybe Windows just changed things around, but I think that I'm speaking at the same volume as I usually do. So, yeah. Okay, so we got this wrecked. So with the button theme, so core draw label is not, yeah, it's not using that at all. Right, so this is gonna, when we add this parameter in, it is likely to break some things that are like not passing the right value or something, but we'll find out. Okay, so currently core draw label doesn't scissor, which means we would scissor to the edges of the button, which is maybe fine for now. But like text origin, how much do we use this? Just here. So I think we just want to pass the theme again. We pass the theme. And then we have alignment. We have alignment pad M's. And we have that. And we can factor this back apart later if we want, but I'm kind of in the mood to just always do this with a label theme. So okay, now r.y, okay, let's just say y and oh, whoops, text baseline vertical position. See, this was just some hack routine that I think we want to delete. Theme text baseline vertical position times r.h, and then I guess we'll say we'll just round a little better in cases where that might matter. Actually, let's do this. Because we draw text at integer coordinates right now. Okay. So we do that. Let's see. Let's see how bad the damage is. Text origin. Oh, yes. This one. Theme R text width. Boom. Font. Theme.font. Let's just do this because I do want to allow null fonts later. So we're going to make that be an accessor function later. All right. How bad is it? Oh boy. I forgot to add the y of the actual rect. r.y plus. Okay. So it's a little bit not really correctly calibrated for this stuff. But that's fine, right? Because that's actually what the button theme says by default. Now the question is, should we have the button theme try to center your text by default in some way? First, let's make sure it works. Like we could set this to infinity, right? And if it's infinity, then we like set it to 0.5 of minus. Yeah. Okay. Let's try that. Okay. First, we're going to say button theme dot text baseline vertical, like 0.5, right? Which for a big button, no, it's 0.3, 0.4. So for a particular font and button size, you can tune this. Like if you're tuning the exact look of your thing, but we probably want, like if this font was a lot bigger relative to the button, 0.4 would not be good because that's the position of the baseline, right? So I think we kind of want to auto it. Right? And that could actually be on label. Oh, we still have this bug that we get to look into. But first, so I think we make this to infinity. We choose default based on the input rect. Okay. And that default can honestly be exactly what we had. Right? Like this is actually fine. So we're going to say vert is this if vert is float 32 infinity, vert equals default text baseline of font r.y plus r. We should put height because we just subtract. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so if you don't specify a thing, then you get that. So right now we are specifying, right? So if we set this to 0, for example, we'll get scraping the bottom. But if we get rid of it, oh, well, that wasn't good. Actually, hold on. I should have noticed that all these other things were gone. Okay, that's a clear sign that it didn't work. So why black dynamite? Oh, because this adds the Y here. Right? We don't want to do that because of the way that we are using this. Okay, that's also real. What? Why? Vert equals default text baseline. Let's even... Shouldn't this do exactly the same thing we did before? What did I do, everybody? What did I do? Oh, because the times... Okay, no, this is stupid. Sometimes I make dumb little mistakes like that. Okay. Okay. That seems pretty good. You did a hackathon sponsored by Pebble. What am I building? Why do people say building? Is that like, I guess that's now that web developers have taken over the world. Is that the term now? Building? Like, what are you building? What are you building, bro? Because I just realized now, because somebody asked that, and I realized I've heard that before, and I'm like, that's so weird. It like, the reason it's weird is because it implies that what you're doing is like a giant project of wrangling a bunch of crap, right? Like, because if you were just writing a program that was a straightforward, mathematically well-defined object, that wouldn't be like building necessarily, right? Like, building implies you're using a build process. So it kind of bothers me. Like, I would say, what are you making, or what are you programming? What are you working on? Building implies hard work and effort. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. What bothers you is when people say tech worker. Yeah, but I in my brain now, I permanently have sarcasm quotes around the word tech, so it works for me. Everyone on Twitter and the internet using the term building now for any project or startup. Yeah, it feels that way to me. Probably a Zoomer thing. Well, that's great. what shall I do now? Let's go back to our to-do list. It's probably... Okay. Core draw label, use a prepared text. Well, do people call core draw label? I guess a few do, right? Core draw label, button and slow. What? Oh. Right. Maybe we call it prepared text draw label, since that really is what it is. So I think we decided slider has button theme, which has label theme. So I think we could just do this. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so why not vector 4 braces? Because syntax is not super final, and I do what seems easy at the time, but B, you actually don't want, like, you want your grammar to have some structure in it. And like right now, braces without something before them generally mean we're starting a block of statements, right? Or like a struct or whatever. So like adding another meaning for that, it's not ambiguous in the grammar, but it means that if somebody makes a typo, it probably has an interpretation, right? Like, oh, it looks like an identifier followed by an open brace. And I just didn't want to do that. And also the syntax for anonymous struct literals has the dot. So although we could do that without the dot, like it's one of these things where like we'll see how it works out. Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's actually ambiguous. It's just, I honestly don't want to think that much about syntax right now. It's not that important. Okay. So instead of core draw label, we can make a thing called prepared draw label from prepared text, right? I don't know. So label from, and then that could scissor. We could say do scissor. That could be just a standard thing. And you noticed before we weren't scissoring when we moved the text outside the button. Maybe we should do that. But like, the interesting thing about that is if you scissor and you make a layout mistake, the scissor may make it much harder to debug your layout mistake, right? So maybe we shouldn't by default. I don't know. Anyway, label from prepared text is going to take these parameters except minus text, right? In the same order and all that. And I think we can go on prepared with okay. So that's a little more efficient, which, I mean, who really cares? But, you know, it's good. Oh, I deleted core draw label. Okay. Label for too many arguments. Oh, yeah. All right. Bam. Bro, I gotta get my variables in the right order. Okay, button. Core draw label is label from prepared text. Although, okay, let's no check in this because I think, oh, wait. No, we haven't prepared the text here. So honestly, this should just be label. R text label theme. Like that. Okay, buttons are still working, sliders still working. Great, great. G. That's weird though. Why is the cursor, when this is empty? Wait, is this like right? What is going on with this text box? Whoa, guys, this text box is effed. I don't understand. What? It's kind of like behaving like it's right to left, but then it's kind of like behaving like it's left to right. Okay, we have to look at that. Maybe we just haven't played with that one in a while. Is this one behaving? Oh, they're all doing that. Weird. The 0th cursor position is like at the end for some reason. Bro. Okay, that's recently introduced, but I think that's from before today. I don't think that has anything to do with the label changes we've been doing, because like this amount of space, that's approximately our scroll margin. So this probably happened at the end of the scroll margin changes, and I just never noticed somehow. Someone claims their version of the Witness plays the Lotus Eaters by Imperia. No. No. The only way that they could have that is if they stole a version that was like 2 years before release. From Brian Moriarty's machine or mine. We never shipped the game with that file in, I don't think. Like, I seriously doubt that you could find that song in the package. But you could very easily find the actual music in the package. So one of those nasty beta testers we used early on. No, all those testers were way before that zone even existed. Could just mod it into the game. That's true. That's true. It is possible to make computers do things other than what they are currently doing. Okay, so I think I just want to know why the cursor's out in the middle like this. And it's probably, so there's that get width up to whatever it's called. There's a function that we call that says get how much of the string up to the insert point. And that probably returns the empty string when you're at the beginning. And somebody is probably assuming that that string being false means that something bad, right? That's what it seems like to me. Let's find out. So I'm going to go to text input. We don't want that. We just want okay, we want there, I think. So why does Control A? Control A doesn't work correctly, by the way, anymore, which is weird. That might be a hint. Oh, we did that. Okay, Control A, but all right. So here, or Control A doesn't draw correctly. In general, does this selection region, it draws fine here, but if I hit Control A, it like doesn't. But then if I hit Control X, okay, that's interesting. It has the whole thing selected, it just doesn't draw correctly. Oh, because Control A probably used to reset the insert point and doesn't now. How does Fabulous Notepad do this? So if we have Notepad, we open a file and I go to here, right? And I go there and I hit Control A. It puts the cursor at the end. We're going to have to look at that. I don't know when all this stuff broke. It was better behaved. I remember being happy with Control A before. All right, so anyway. So why is the cursor out in the middle there? So text X is 120. 108. That makes sense. So the little left margin is about 12 probably. So its width up to insert is the problem. 124. And why is that? Insert point 0. Oh, prepare text is probably earlying out in a weird way. Or something. Right? So prepare text has an empty string. Yeah. Duh. Don't return until after we set these. All right. Hey, look, Control A works. That's great. Oh, Control A, it must be like, here's this, how much string is before the selection or something. Hey. Oh, yeah. Isn't it really funny how just a simple thing like that can have consequences that you wouldn't expect. Now I can go again, my cha. I could go to Control A. Yeah. R. Royal Puer? No. Roibus. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is good. So, bam, ba, bam. That is worth checking in. Well, problem when drawing really big stuff. Fonts get all confused, or garbage. Let's do garbage because that's easier and we can get rid of the garbage. We can collect the garbage. What do people who collect the garbage do with it? It's like, doesn't their house fill with garbage? Do they then sell it on eBay? Garbage. Garbage, hard-coded pixel sizes. All right. So this -2 is supposed to be like the... This makes me extra angry because this is supposed to be some hard-coded border width, which could desync with the other place where it... Like, oh my God, okay. This is going to be -2 times border width. And fuck you for dividing by 0 as well. Whoever wrote this is not very careful. Garbage workers make bank digging for money in trash cans at bars. Like people accidentally throw their wallet away because they're drunk or what? Garbage collectors take garbage to landfills. No, you're confused. Those people would be called garbage takers or garbage collectors. They're like literally collecting it. It's like a collector's item. The garbage is like a collector's item, like a Beanie Baby. I'm making a note about something later. When did the obsession with algorithm interviews start? Like when any dude, if you can't do data structures, you should not get a programming job. Okay? Not like a serious programming job. That has been true forever. That has been true forever. Like people who are upset about interviews that ask about data structures, like, oh my God, it's just a sign of the decay of civilization that people even think that they should be able to get a programming job. Dude, I learned about data structures in high school. I mean, not nearly as seriously as I did in college, but like we at least did lists. We probably did trees in high school. Using computers is like garbage collecting. That is true. That is so true. So true. People who people who don't want to do data structures for their job interview probably also think you should use hard-coded pixel sizes. All right. So we want to go to themes. And we want, in the slider theme, we want to say slider surface margin as we just say the rect height. All right, so actually down here, let's say surface margin is surface margin is r dot h times min of theme dot surface margin 0.49. We're just not going to let it, because a half would mean a completely empty scroll bar or slider thing. So there's that. Whoops. Float denom equals attempt to call a non-procedure. That error message should say, here's the thing you're trying to call. I guess. Or at least what type it is. Oh, because we declared a local variable called min. Okay, so here we actually have a little border. Let's try making that bigger. Let's get rid of this. Whoops. 0.15 should be quite a bit more. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Ooh. problem. We need to round it because math error is causing us to have different numbers of pixels. There we go. That looks better. Better. It's like we're a pro, man. Do we still support this syntax called unary operators on operands? No, I deleted it because it was dumb. I mean, dumb is maybe not the right word, but it wasn't very useful. Like, especially with a unary operator, just call the function, right? The only actual use for that was for binary operators. And the thing with binary operators is when the name of the function is long, which it should be if your code is readable, then putting it in infix form does not really make it that much more readable. Like operators are readable because they're very terse. Okay. You don't remember having a rounding? There's no real reason to have a rounding procedure. Like, it's just a, like it's extra. Like it's a very, very small abstraction that doesn't do very much, I guess, right? Changing the lexer to accept plus minus and things as an identifier. Well. Is this where I want to pause for tonight? Maybe we're doing a short stream. Well, we could start looking at this bug that's important to fix. Well, it's Casey saying hello. Ah. You have caught me on a time when I am sleepy. But we're going to investigate what is going on. So I'm doing something wrong in here probably. Probably. Oh, there's people rating. Hello, people who are rating. So here's what we are looking at. We have this bug that's actually been in here for a long time now. I think I actually fixed this bug like in the witness before we rewrote the font stuff. I don't know. But like if I resize, okay, here, everything is fine except for this. This character, this G in the word widgets, is like, it's drawing this whole texture atlas chunk here, right? And it's not even the whole texture because you can see it cuts off the P. So like if I could actually repro that, we could step through it and see what it's doing. You know, as I keep resizing, we don't free the atlases right now. So I think we make more and more fragmentation in the texture atlases, and it eventually causes, oh, we're doing it by height. It eventually causes this thing to happen a lot, right? And I suspect it's just every time we change from one page to another, that would explain why it happens more as I resize more, because like there's more, due to the fragmentation, there's more texture swaps probably, right? So I imagine that like it's just incorrect every time we swap. But I don't see what the problem is exactly. Dude, I can't, I'm trying to click in Emacs. I'm trying to, it like just decided to change, and now is it a certain amount off vertically? Well, I will never know. Oh, now all of Windows is fucked, everybody. Congratulations me. Good thing Windows is coming out with a new version of Windows soon. I'm sure it'll totally fix this. Like, why do people say that software is fine and isn't getting worse? Like, I don't understand it. What do I do now? Do I just have to kill Emacs and restart it? Like, the fuck is even happening here? Like, I can't even click on the title bar. It's not registering that at all. In fact, I can't click on anything else on the screen, seemingly. Oh, wait. Okay. Is this some kind of special Windows lock mode that is also off vertically? Like, I can't click on any background windows right now. If I click on the foreground window, I can do things in it, but then Emacs is like hundreds of pixels off. And then I have to Alt-Tab. Let me see, I'm selecting if you don't need to know the specific. Yeah, okay. So in this window, I'm at least in the right position. I mean, do I have to reboot? Why do we have so many con hosts, by the way? I have 2 shells. that's probably built up from Visual Studio, by the way, most of these. Okay. Look at all these Chrome processes. I have 2 Chrome tabs open, by the way. Like, what is even happening? I'm being hacked by Vladimir Putin. All right. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'd even put Emacs as full screened, which it had been before it disappeared. It's like I launched the program and then Emacs like went into a weird mode that didn't match. Which browser does Vladimir Putin use? I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. This is just so sad, guys, how bad Windows is now. Like, that was Linux levels of quality right there. Except no, it's not, because at least my things render at a high speed. But part of it is almost Linux quality. Look at all the gift subs flying around. All right. So what were we even doing before that happened? Oh yeah, I was resizing this stuff. I mean, maybe we're confusing the GL driver here, and then that was a consequence of the GL. That doesn't seem likely, but it could be. It could be. What are you supposed to do when, like, you just GL active texture, right? Oh, we're not flushing here, I don't think. Yeah, I'm a dummy, guys. I am a super dummy. I think all we have to do is this. All right. Spoop. 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 Yeah, see, don't run the debugger if you don't have to. Just use the Feynman method to solve your problem. The Feynman method is the superior method of solving your problem. Have you seen the mail? Seems like the problem is on the build server. I mean, look, right now we are in a state of uncertainty such that it is still the best thing. Because I honestly don't know what's going on, right? If you know exactly what's going on, then we can proceed with that. Otherwise, I would prefer to back off on that change until everything is running stably, and then we can try reintroducing the change. Because when there's enough variables about like what's on the server and what files were they and stuff. I mean, it could be. Yeah, I don't know. Do you mean mail from like the past hour? Because like I certainly read the stuff from this morning. Compiler build still wasn't updated. No, but that. Okay, I guess the issue is I'm not actually sure what the Sokoban build server does when the compiler build like I'm not sure that it would matter. So like because the compiler executable was not getting recompiled, right? But like that change was not dependent on the executable. And I believe I'm actually not sure. But I think maybe the Sokoban build process is just pulling down every version of the compiler as opposed to waiting for the specific executable check-ins. And in that case, it should have gotten that change. Um, so, I mean, this might be a good time to go actually look at the source code for the Sokoban build server because like it really isn't good and needs to get needs to get restructured anyway and cleaned up. Um, but yeah, just to reduce uncertainty, Sokoban build keeps pulling in the old modules. Um, well, okay, if that's the case, then maybe we really do just have to. Oh, everybody, look! When I restarted Explorer, I don't have a taskbar. Wait, it's on the bottom now, and it's auto hiding. What is going on? Windows doesn't need to care about my taskbar settings. Why would it? All right, let me see. What is going on with this? Okay, so this is still not running. I thought Salvador said he made it run. But I don't see it doing anything. Okay, well, what I should do is tomorrow I should just go in. Like, I don't want to drive to the office tonight and fricking do this, and I don't have a remote desktop set up on that machine because we almost never need it. So it's a giant pain in the ass to like do anything with it. Yeah. I don't know. Vladimir Putin can probably leg into it. I mean, probably there are about 17 different nations that could log into the machine for me and fix the bug, right? At least. Yeah, it's so probably what's happening. So the Sokoban build thing, it has this little mechanism where it tries to protect itself from failed compiler builds, right? Where I guess I forget exactly how it works, but it looks for something to know whether it should update its compiler build or not. And so I guess that is not tripping because the compiler build process is not happening. I don't know. Maybe I have to end the stream and go to the office now. That's the only responsible thing to do because this is getting this is messing with people's workflows, and I shouldn't put up with it. So I think that that's what we're gonna do. I think we're going to end the stream. I'm going to go drive to the office. Hope this is trivial to fix. Drive back. Still not set up remote desktop like I should. I think it actually might even be set up and I just don't know how to connect to it. Anyway, are there any questions about what we were doing? We didn't do that much stuff on the widgets, but we did good things. And so I think next widget stream, we will come back and we will maybe start adding new widgets to the widgets. We could either do that or do the stuff about baking fonts in. Yeah. Let me go to the change log and say fixed module simp font rendering when atlases are fragmented. This will be some good value for the people. Wait. Oh, I haven't updated to merge in my changelog from the other stuff. Yeah, oh, that's some value for the people now. What is castle flipping? Oh, Casey, if you want a very high quality game to play, because you were asking before about like what's a really bad movie to watch, right? And so I think Castle Flipper is the game version of that. That is probably the best description I can give. This is not a recommendation. At all. All right, everybody. If you want to succeed in the games industry, sometimes you have to drive to the office at midnight. I'm going to go do that. Thanks for hanging out. Maybe Casey will go do a gaming stream and we can raid him. Casey, what is the probability of this? Zero. Oh, that's too bad. How far is the office? I mean, it's just like a 10-minute drive. It's not super far. Yeah, the problem is like what happens if it's not a particularly quick fix? But I think it should be like, I'm just going to go in. I'm going to stop the compiler build, which itself, by the way, could have been hanging due to the older, like I assumed that you were rejiggering this function because it had problems before, right? So like, I think that was probably, we still had build server failures for unknown reasons that were relatively rare, but still happened like every couple of weeks. And so that could have been that. So it'll be good to update that, assuming that that's the problem. Anyway, so I will go, I will set that up, and then we'll see what happens. Bring my rifle in case I get mugged. I mean, in the USA, you get thrown in jail for exercising your Second Amendment right to self-defense, I guess, even though it's in the Constitution in very unambiguous language. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll do some more streaming probably, maybe tomorrow evening. Sometime soon we'll do some more streaming. It'll be fun. Bye, everybody.